Yeah, my fiance called.
Oh, okay. I like, damn, 2 seconds. You can't wait 2 seconds.
Nah,
Crazy
nah.
work.
uh, Thanks for having me up though.
Yeah, man.
It's a hell of a question, a hell of a prompt. The only thing I could come up with, which admittedly is a stretch, but I think it'll be a good conversation starter. I would say calm, a stoicism, tends to be I hate saying this out loud because I mean, like, I would say it tends to be a lot of men who I would say I associate that trait with, but
Mhm.
that's admittedly, what is that called? Anecdotal.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I would say. At least the men that I know.
So
uh, and
that's a good. That's
that's not to say that that's always the answer to things. But I will say that healthy relationships are a balance of personalities, a balance of emotions, and so I feel like a lot of times, at least in the relationships that I know of, including mine, a
I
lot of
disagree.
times women tend to be on it,
Mhm.
on it constantly, like let's go, let's get it,
I
what's
think
next?
I disagree with that because if you're in a relationship and both people are empathetic, that's what you want. If you're in a relationship and both people
Oh,
are,
definitely.
you see what I'm saying? I don't think it's a balance of emotions. I think that you both need to have like a lot of certain emotions.
I'll take that. I'll take that pushback. But hopefully you get what I mean in terms of a lot of times it's a balance. I'll take the word emotional back and say it's a balance usually of let's stick with personalities.
Mhm.
Uh, you got to have a healthy amount of optimism, but also you got to have that realist. And so in that way,
You could be optimistic and a realist at the same time, but you don't need optimism and pessimism. You know what I mean? You
uh,
don't need
I,
somebody to always, and I'm saying you don't always need somebody to be pessimistic, and then you need somebody to balance you out. Like here's what I'm saying: the pessimistic person needs the optimistic person, right? Because the optimistic person, like I feel like that's the healthier, not delusional. By the way, I'm saying healthy optimism, fine. You never really need pessimism. Pessimism is almost always frowned upon, right?
yeah. Well,
Realism is good, and optimism is good. Pessimism, for the sake of being, that ain't gonna work. We can't never do that. That ain't who fucking needs to hear that?
in the same way that healthy optimism exists, I would say the healthy pessimism. Because I consider myself a healthy pessimist, to be honest.
Healthy pessimism is realism, though. You know what I'm saying? That's you
Damn,
being a
you got
realist.
it.
The odds are you aren't gonna make it to the NBA. You're not a pessimist.
You got it.
You're a realist.
You right. I take that.
Odds are you're not gonna ever be a millionaire. You're not. That's not pessimistic. That's realism,
That's realism. Yeah, I'll take that.
right? But if I say, if I'm like, I want to go back to school and get my degree, and you go, school is for dummies, man. Nobody needs to go to. That's pessimism.
That's straight
You
up
don't,
pessimism.
you don't need that, man. Da 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 da. Oh man, you shouldn't even. Don't even try, man. Degree. Hey man, for every degree, you go $50,000 in debt. Like that's pessimism.
For
That's
sure.
what. Yeah, but if you say, hey, realism is, but that, hey, it might be kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? I know how you gonna work that out with the kids and because that could be somebody trying to bite off more than they can chew, and you might have to. So how we gonna work it out? You know what I mean? Like if it's you and your spouse, how we gonna work that out
Right.
logistically?
Ground them.
You got kids, you got a full-time job. Are you planning on quitting? Are you planning? No, no, no. I'm gonna work full time, and I'm still gonna do everything with the kids. Well, how you gonna do that and go to school? You got to make it make sense. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you ain't being a pessimist. You just like let's have the conversation, and then if everything when you get all the facts, and then you go, I don't think you're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's not you being a pessimist. That might be real.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I'm gonna stick with the point of calm. I do feel like that tends to be a trait amongst a lot of men. Um, which
Men are what men are men are wow, this is crazy. Men are more calm than women, generally speaking, you think?
I would say so. Now, of course, I don't. I mean, as far as I know, maybe you could point me to something, but I don't think that there's any quantitative evidence to back up either side. But like,
Violence.
I
Violence.
mean, that's purely
Violence.
experience. What'd you say?
Violence.
I'm sorry.
Violence.
I don't.
Easiest one to point to. The biggest one, the most important one, violence.
Well, I'm talking about it in the context of relationships because that's what I thought the context was at a prompt. That's me assuming.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. But the thing is how can you separate the two? If men are basically, then you would have to believe that men are damn near bipolar. If we are the most violent compared to women, the most violent by far, right? Then logically I can conclude that we are also the most irrational in everything.
No, I wouldn't agree with that. For example, I've been watching you for a while, and I know that you married.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can't speak for you, so I'll just frame it as a question. Have you had situations in which you and your wife have encountered a difficult situation, and you've been the one to be like, now, hold on, it's going to be cool. You have encountered that. That's basically what I'm saying.
But wait, this is what I'm saying, Mo. Yes, I have been the cooler head in certain situations. Who has been the cooler head the majority of the time? My wife, not even close.
Oh, wow. Well, then.
Not even, for every one time I could think of for me, I can think of 50 times for her. Because I be wilding. You know how many times my wife, especially when I was younger, I've been with her for 17 years, right? But I'm an old man now. I ain't tripping. Yeah. But when I was 25, 6, 7, when I was like ready to get down with everybody, my wife would, calm down. It's not that. Sometimes she didn't have to stop me from jumping on somebody. Oh, babe. Oh, stop. No, don't do it. Don't hurt. I was violent. Like, she saved me so many times from getting from who knows what, police, going to jail, worse. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. So no. Yeah, my wife has definitely saved me. Way more than I'll saved her.
All right. Well, I mean, that's the only thing about that point is that it becomes purely anecdotal. So, of course, I can't argue against your experience. I would say that hasn't been my experience or, my father, my brother, the men in my life who are married, but I hear you.
Come on up, Keyshawn. We'll mute you.
And that's not hard to believe. I believe you.
Yeah, I know. And also that's not hard to believe for most men, right? Like,
I'm not ready to concede that point, but
you think all right. So beyond violence, who is more erratic and irrational in a relationship financially? Who is most likely to do something irrational with the money?
Definitely men.
Who is most irrational? Who is most likely to do something like up and quit their job? Like, just get heated at work, get into it with their manager, and then just quit their job.
Oh, see, I don't know if I'm ready to. I'm not ready to say men on that one.
That's no doubt about it.
I'm just.
Who is most likely to Mo? Who is most likely to be combative?
I don't know if the answer to that is men either, to be honest.
Brother, this is crazy.
I really don't think
slam dunk questions for you to answer, bro. Men are most likely to be combative at work or at home, but I was talking outside. So I'm saying, because I gave the example at work. At work, who is most likely to be combative? Men.
Here's the thing. Here's the reason why I'll say that is because specifically, I know this isn't a racialized conversation, but specifically as a black man, I've had that conversation with my friends, my brother, my dad, about our experiences actually suppressing any sort of negative emotion for the sake of not being misunderstood.
Yep. And what happens when you suppress a lot of negative emotions? Eventually, what ends up happening?
It's not gonna come. Not all the time. I understand.
I'm not saying all the time, but Mo, typically speaking, what happens when you suppress a lot of negative emotions?
It can randomly blow off.
Okay.
Later on.
And since men are known for our stoicism, our calmness, right? And we suppress a lot of negative emotions, who is most likely to act erratically?
I walked into that one. I hear you, my brother. I walked into that one. I hear you.
That's what I'm saying. It's men, bro. It's no matter how you slice it. Women are more calm than we are. They're more rational than we are. Because the thing about being rational is You have to be emotional to be rational. Suppressing your emotions makes you act irrationally. Feeling your emotions, allowing your emotions to flow through you and handle them, that gives you rationality. Right? Now
Yeah.
you're rational. You're irrational when you suppress it, you don't feel it, you don't know what's going on. That's how you end up being irrational. Women feel more emotions than men do. They allow themselves to feel more emotions than men do.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, I walked up with the open mind. I was damn near playing devil's advocate, to be honest with you, because
I
I,
love
I
that.
damn
Hey,
near agree with you
I
on most
respect it.
things.
It's all good
But
for me.
but yeah, nah, I hear you. Thanks for having me up. Appreciate
No
you.
problem, Mo. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, bye.
Yep.